Hi Capricorn, welcome to December. This is your month, and happy birthday. So let's see what's happening in December. We have Neptune moving direct in Pisces on the 4th. We have a full moon in Gemini on December 7th. We have a new moon in your sign on December 23rd, and at the same time, Chiron is moving direct in Aries. Mercury goes retrograde on December 29th. And that's it. We'll see. And plus we have the solstice on the 21st, of course. And light is coming back. And I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, let's see what the cards have to say. If I can, these are new cards, so they're a little stiff. Let's see what the cards have to say about love and relationships for Capricorn. What's happening with Capricorn in December in terms of love and relationships? What does Capricorn need to know? What does Capricorn need to know in terms of love and relationships? What is coming up for Capricorn? Okay, let's see what we get. The Hierophant. The Magician. The Page of Swords in the past. The Eight of Swords. The Queen of Swords coming up in the future. The Knight of Wands. The Knight of Pentacles. The King of Cups. The Nine of Cups. And the Tower. And the card at the bottom of the deck is the Queen of Pentacles. Well, you got a lot of changes coming up, but I think it's going to be good in the end. Okay, so the Hierophant. This is about following tradition, wanting to do the right thing. You might be dealing with someone, like whatever. If you're in a relationship, Capricorns are pretty conservative, and you always care about what your reputation, and you want to do the right thing. So you could be trying to figure out, how can I do the right thing and get what I want at the same time and make major changes? Because Tower is like, it's a positive thing because you have the Nine of Cups here. So don't fear the Tower. But the Tower is basically about breaking something down that's not working and rebuilding in a new direction that is working. Okay? So we don't like change, especially earth signs. But you are a cardinal sign, so you like initiating things. And you have the Magician here. So you have to realize that you have skills and you have talent. The Magician is about, you have manifestation. You have all the tools and the skills that you need to manifest something wonderful in your life, including relationships. Not just relationships, but even in career, or, whatever. But the key of the Magician is creating our reality through our thoughts. Our thoughts are the blueprint for reality. I keep saying this over and over. And people don't realize how important that is. Because we all you get into a habit of complaining about what's wrong in your life. Something happens at work, something happens with a partner, something happens with a friend, and you're like, nah, this happened, she said this, he said that, And you're just reinforcing all that energy instead of focusing on what you want to create. So these things are going to happen no matter, even when you're in the zone of creating, you're still going to come across certain things that annoy you. But when you're in the zone of creating and you're in that positive zone, you're not going to be affected by it as much. You may not even notice it. Like somebody could be really crappy to you and you're like, whatever. I'm too focused on my positive project that I'm working on, or my positive relationship that I'm enjoying, or my whatever, the love for my children, all the good that's in my life, and the gratitude. That this is just like a fly or a little bug, and you can just flick it off, shoo it away. It's not going to affect my mental state and my inner well-being. So with the Hierophant also, sometimes you could be dealing with someone who's very stubborn in a relationship. So that could be Taurus. But for the most part, I think this Hierophant is maybe it's even you, because it's the first card. Where are you being rigid? Ask yourself, where am I being too conservative or too old-fashioned when it comes to a relationship? Maybe I need to lighten up a little. Maybe I need to relax a little and be a little bit more spontaneous and not try to have everything go a certain way or be in control. In the past, you have the Page of Swords. This can represent a challenging person in your life. Sometimes it represents gossip and spying. So you may think someone is like on your side, and then you find out they've been talking behind your back, But it's also having to have a difficult conversation with someone. Don't sweep things under the rug. So if you're going through a difficult relationship, you might be with someone that you have to watch the way you're saying things, your communication style. Because the Page of Swords is not what you say, it's how you say it. It's like, it can be a little bit harsh in the communication. And it's possible that you have this Queen of Swords coming up in the future. Now, the Queen of Pentacles, this could be your energy as a Capricorn. It's earth energy. You also have the Knight of Pentacles here. You have a lot of people coming and going in your life right now. But the other meaning of the Page of Swords is looking beneath the surface, looking deeper. Don't just listen to what you hear, especially gossip, because people make shit up, sometimes if people don't know what's going on in your life, they make stuff up, because some people just love to gossip and they embellish. So if you're having a problem with someone, or you hear something that someone might have said, I would go to the source and work it out directly with that person. Don't base your decisions or your actions based on hearsay, gossip. You have the Eight of Swords here, so this is the recent past. Actually, this energy is fading, but you may have felt stuck in a situation, like a relationship. Maybe you felt trapped or stuck, and you want to break free of it, but you're afraid. You're afraid to break free. Now you have this Queen of Pentacles energy. It could be you, it could be another person. This person is looking for security. And maybe that's you. You want a secure relationship. But you're surrounded by these swords. So I feel like there's a part of you that feels like you can't move forward. I don't know if there's fear, or maybe you're afraid of confrontation in a relationship, because the Page of Swords, you're going to have to get real with the Page of Swords. And maybe you might be dealing with someone that doesn't want to hear the truth, or doesn't want to deal with what's real. Now I see this Queen of Swords energy coming up in the future. And the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Wands is about moving away from, difficulty. Queen of Swords energy is about using discernment. It's using, the Queen of Swords, you could be dealing with an air sign. So that would be Libra, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. And actually with the page here, maybe you're hearing news from an air sign and it's causing you to be concerned. There might be some gossip, especially if you're dealing with, because sometimes air signs, especially Gemini and Libra, they like to gossip. They like to spread the news. Like, hey, this is what's going on. So make sure that whatever you're hearing, that you look deeper into it. But the Queen of Swords energy is someone who has their guard up. You could be dealing with someone who's kind of harsh and judgmental. And you might even be afraid of this person, afraid of confronting this person. But at the same time, you have this Knight of Wands energy, which is a card of moving away, like seeking adventure, travel. I feel like there's going to be movement in your life. Either you're changing jobs or changing where you live. You could finally decide to break free from a relationship that has made you feel, that has been difficult, not made you feel valued. Maybe you're dealing with someone that makes you feel like you're stuck, or like you're not growing in the relationship. You feel trapped by it. So, but at the same time, as a Capricorn, you're taking calculated risks. Capricorns are not one to jump off a cliff without knowing if they have some place to land. That's for Aries. Aries are more adventurous. So with the Knight of Pentacles, this is about showing up and doing your work day to day, taking things one day at a time. But I feel like you're ready for adventure with this Knight of Wands energy. Now, if this represents a person, I feel like there's going to be several options coming up this month, and you may have to figure out where you want to focus your energy. The Knight of Wands could be a player type energy. If it's not related to travel, if you're not traveling or looking for a new job or a new place to live, if this represents a person, it's someone who is a lot of fun when they're around. They come in, they breeze into your life, they're fun, like, hey, let's go out, let's have a drink, let's do this, let's do that. They're very active, but they're not very reliable. So they make promises and they don't keep them. Someone's like, yeah, I'll call you, let's get together. Like, you bump into somebody, an old friend, and they're like, oh, it's so good to see you, let's get together, I'll call you next week. And then you never hear from them. That's the kind of person this Knight of Wands is. So if someone comes back, I feel like this is a person who's thinking of you, who's from the past, who may want to revisit the connection. But I feel like you're not going to give this person the time of day if it's that type of person, because you're looking for stability and security. Now, it could also mean that this Queen, if you're dealing with this Queen of Swords energy, someone who's harsh and controlling and judgmental. Maybe you feel like they're too hard on you in some ways, or their communication style, they're always yelling at you, or always putting you down, or making you feel inadequate. This person might be moving out of your life. Maybe this person is leaving. In your environment, you have the King of Cups. So this could be someone that you really, the King of Cups energy, this is a beautiful energy. This is a person that you could just tell your problems to, your stories to. They just listen. They're very compassionate. They have deep feelings. They understand. They have a big heart. But they keep their feelings hidden because they fear rejection. So there could be someone around you who really cares about you, but they're afraid to let you know, because they don't want to be rejected. They want to be sure. Like, I don't know, I'm not going to reach out to this person unless I know for sure they're interested, or if I know for sure they care about me. Because they are very protective of their heart. But this could be someone like a good friend, or someone that you want to confide in, that can help you. Because this person has a healing influence on people. They're like natural counselors. They could even be working in the healing profession, one of the healing professions. And you have the Nine of Cups here, which is a wish fulfillment card. So whatever you're wanting to achieve in a relationship this month, you can have it. The Nine of Cups means yes to your question. And how are you going to get it? Through the major arcana. By visualizing what you want, taking action, believing in yourself, the Hierophant, going for something, breaking free of not being too rigid, with this card, there could be someone in your life that you're wanting to commit to if you're not already married. Because the Hierophant sometimes represents like marriage, commitment, something stable. Following tradition, like you're not going to live together, you want to get married, that kind of thing. But the way you're going to do it with the Tower is breaking down something that's false, waking up to what's false, and letting that crumble so that you can rebuild in a better direction. So you may have to break a relationship or break something down that is no longer serving you, that's no longer stable. Maybe you hear some news that's been hidden from you. and you suddenly realize, like, you have a wake-up call. The tower is always a wake-up call. It's a sudden, like, wow, you know, what you least expect, all of a sudden you hear this news and it's shocking. But I think that ultimately you're going to get your wish. You're going to be in a better place, in a more secure place, but not without making some major changes. And not, once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. So when you see the truth about your situation, like you may have been thinking, well, things aren't too bad. Maybe I could, stick it out. But once you realize, like, this isn't working for me, I need to get out, I need to break free, you're going to make some major changes in your life. You've still got Pluto in your first house, especially if you have Capricorn rising. Pluto has been affecting your sun, depending on what degree of Capricorn you are. It's changing you in very big ways. You're going through major transformation. And you've been doing that since 2008. Well, Pluto's getting ready to leave Capricorn. So what have you learned over all these years? How have you become empowered? You're learning how to use power, how to become empowered, how to deal with power. It's going to move to the next sign, Aquarius. So next year. So this could be the final moment of transformation for you. Let's see what the angels, and we'll get into the astrology next. I'll get into more detail. But let's see what the angels have to say. I feel like if you're ending a relationship, there is someone in the wings that's a much better fit. You're breaking free from someone who is too harsh and too judgmental and too controlling, too rigid, too stubborn. Maybe even breaking free of someone who is just all talk and no action. And even though it represents major change, I feel like there are better things waiting for you. So you just have to free yourself from something that's not working, so you can embrace what will be absolutely wonderful, something that you will really love. Okay, let's see what the angels want you to know. Prayer. Okay. Dear guardian angel, to you I pray. When I'm fearful, help me remember that only love is real. When I'm lost, help me find my way. When I'm confused, help me to regain clarity. When I feel lonely, help me to feel your loving presence. Where I perceive chaos, help me to see the order. And thank you. So, prayer could help you manifest your dreams, your goals. If you're needing guidance, pray to whatever whatever your spiritual guide is. Pray for that divine guidance. What direction do I need to go in? What do I need to release? What do I need to embrace? Where do I focus my energy? And you'll get the answer. Because I always say prayer is talking to God, and meditation is listening for the answer. So after you pray and you put your intentions out there, take time and sit in meditation and quiet your mind and listen for the thoughts that are popping up in your head, because that's the answer that's coming from the divine within. So, okay, let's see what the astrology is speaking. So you have a full moon in your 6th house conjunct Mars. And the sun is in your 12th house, which is your psychological house. So at this full moon, December 7th, some truth is going to be revealed. Something that was hidden from you will be seen. So you're going to see the truth. They say, and this is kind of a platitude, but it's true, seek the truth and the truth will set you free. That's this tower energy. When you see the truth, you can't unsee it. You see a person for who they truly are. That's it. I see you. I can't not see you. And with Mars has been going retrograde in your 6th house. That's the house of work and health, but your day-to-day environment, on the job. Not so much career direction. That's more like the 10th house. But the 6th house is the day-to-day activities. So with Mars there, you're rethinking, and Mars has been there because of the retrograde. It's going to be there for 6 months. So it's halfway through. It's been retrograding. It's going to go direct in January. Then it's going to leave in March. So it's going to be in Gemini. It's been there since August. And it has you rethinking your career, not your career, but your day-to-day activities on the job. You might be really busy with work with Mars in the 6th house. At this full moon, it could be an emotional time because maybe you don't like what you see, but it's going to spur you to action. So even if you're seeing something that you're not really happy with, or you're learning something that you wish, you really didn't know, it could be, it's going to be like the catalyst that makes you say, you know what, I'm not going to put up with this. I'm going to take action to get what I deserve in life. Because you have Saturn, your ruling planet, in the 2nd house of income, money. What do I value? It's also the house of self-worth, self-esteem. Have I been settling for too little all my life? Mars and the moon are trining Saturn. So it's a good time to really figure out what you want and go after it. And the sun in the 12th is sextiling Saturn. Saturn, in a positive aspect, can be your friend. It's helping you. Mars is giving you the courage to take action. And Saturn is saying, hey, if you take action and you do the work, I'm going to reward you with money, financial security, something solid and stable. So this is the time to really think about what you want, what you deserve, and if you've been settling for too little. And if the answer is yes, then go for it, man. Take action. Jupiter and Neptune are in the 3rd. Neptune in the 3rd can be problematic because 3rd house is the house of communication. And Neptune can be, deceptive communication, gossip. You be careful who you talk to because they might be spreading stories about you. And you want them to be factual. You don't want people making up stuff that's going to bring you problems. But Jupiter too. Jupiter increases whatever it touches. So you may be like really chatty with Jupiter and Neptune in your 3rd house. So just watch it, zip it. On the other hand, Jupiter and Neptune in the 3rd, in a positive sense, can mean some creative project where you're really excited about it. It's bringing opportunities to be creative, to reach a larger audience. To maybe you're starting some kind of marketing program or something that involves marketing, selling, writing, communication. So that could be good. And Jupiter is also sextiling Pluto in your 1st house. So maybe you're stepping into your power. After the Mars activates you and you start to go after what you want and you start to branch out and communicate to people like, hey, I'm looking for a new job, or I'm looking for a new partner, or I'm looking for whatever I'm looking for. You're going to be connecting with some powerful people. You're going to feel empowered. And it can transform your network in a really powerful way. You have Venus in the 12th. And also Mercury is in the 1st. Mercury just moved out of Sag and it's in the 1st house. It's not conjunct Pluto because it's too far away. But with Mercury in your 1st house, you are being more chatty, more sociable. You're like a chatterbox now. You feel like talking. You're venting. You're whatever. So just be careful who you're talking to, that that you're not talking to a gossip. Venus is in the 12th. So you could have some hidden feelings for someone that you're not talking about, because sometimes Venus in the 12th is you have this crush on someone, you can't tell them. And it's squaring Jupiter in the 3rd. The only thing about Venus and Jupiter squaring each other is that it tends to lend itself to excess. It's not necessarily a bad aspect, because Jupiter and Venus are benefics. So it just makes you go over the top with things. So don't spend money you don't have. Don't take on projects that you don't have the energy to complete. Know what your limits are. And you have Chiron in, your 4th house. So you're healing some family issues around this time too. Maybe you have some wounds from early childhood you need to work on. And that's going to help you with the 6th house issues, where if you've been sacrificing too much just to be loved, maybe you've been doing too much for everybody else because you want that outside validation because you have some childhood wound. that's been making you feel insecure. Like, I'm not doing enough, I'm not being loved enough, I have to do more to be loved. But you're not a human doing, you're a human being. And in a healthy situation, children are loved just for who they are. You don't have to do anything. So you may have to heal some childhood wounds, but because it's a sextile and a trine to this full moon, you might see what needs to be done and you can do it. You can take action and heal. This is a good time for healing those issues so that it can help you. Maybe that those issues have been blocking your success. Then we have the new moon in Capricorn, and that's in your first house. And so you have the sun and moon in Capricorn. Pluto's still there, but it's on its way out. It's a time to have a new start. It's squaring Jupiter in the 4th, so there could be some issues around home and family. Maybe you've taken too much on helping people out, helping your family out, or you need to, there are issues concerning that. But at this time, at this new moon, the new moon is like the catalyst. It's the energy. It's like the time to plant. It's timing. It's like plant your seeds now. Venus has moved out of the 12th house by now, and it's in your first house. When Venus crosses your ascendant, you're attracting love. You're going to attract if you're not in a relationship, you are going to attract someone. Whether you want to pursue it or not is another story. But you're going to feel more charming, more sociable. You have Mercury there, more talkative. When Venus and Mercury come together, that's a good combination. Because you feel good, you feel pretty, or handsome. It helps your self-esteem. You feel more positive about your body. And Mercury, you just feel like being more social, talking, communicating. And this new moon can start a new relationship, or if it doesn't start a new relationship, it starts a new you, like a new way of being in the world, of being seen in the world. Like you might have realized, okay, I need to fix this about myself. I need to reinvent myself and be more positive, or be more, maybe it's a great time when Venus is in the first house to go out and buy a new wardrobe, to get your hair done, or get a new, like a makeover. You want to be seen in a different light. You want to be seen as more charming, more graceful, more attractive. You can do that now with this new moon. Mars is still in your 6th house. It will be there until March, so whatever I said before still applies. It's sextiling Chiron, so there are some wounds. If you're working too much and you're not getting properly compensated, it could go back to an early childhood wound that you have to work on. Like, why am I doing everybody's work? And I need to stand up for myself. So you're going to heal those things. You have the opportunity to heal those things. And Uranus is in your 5th house, so it could bring, and Venus, when it moves into Capricorn, is going to be trining Uranus. So there could be an unexpected romance that pops up out of nowhere. If it's not romance, because the 5th house has to do with romance, children, and creative projects. It's either that you have a new relationship with a child, like it could be a pregnancy, if you're younger and looking to have a family, or it could be a new relationship, like a child's coming into your world somehow. Maybe one of your kids is having a baby. Somebody's having a baby. Or it could be that you're creating a new creative project. It's your baby, like a new business idea, or a new project that you're really excited about because it's doing something you really love. And it's like a baby, but it allows you to be who you are, like to show the world, this is who I am, these are my skills. So you're going to love that. And, it could come out of the blue. Like all of a sudden you get this offer, you connect with somebody, hey, you want to do this? And you're on it, you're in it. Like, yeah, sign me up. Or it could be a relationship. It could be a new romance, because the 5th house is the house of romance. It's the fun house. So I feel like at this new moon, you may see some things you don't want to see at the full moon, but it's really giving you information that you can use to make yourself better, to work on yourself, and just improve. It's like continual improvement, And then at the new moon, you can implement those changes. Like, okay, I see what I need to do now, and you're going to start doing it. And the new moon is bringing joy and light and love into your life, creativity. So I think that you're going to end the year a lot in a better place than what you started. And if you're willing to see the truth and do the work, 9 of Cups is your card. So anyway, that's my forecast for this month, Capricorn. If you like this reading, click on the like button. If this reading resonated with you, click on this, leave a comment, click on the subscribe button. If you'd like to support this channel and you want to be notified when I upload videos. Thank you for everyone who has been supporting this channel. I really appreciate you, and I read all the comments. I love reading comments. And I try to answer all of them as much as I can. So in the meantime, have a happy birthday, have a happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, happy solstice, Merry Christmas, whatever you're celebrating this year, this month. I wish you love, light, and joy. And I will talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.